Hi guys, I'm going to show you how to use a PNG image to create a terrain in Unreal Engine. It's quite simple, but I'll show you the process. We can get real life terrain, so we can get kind of satellite images and use them as our terrain in Unreal Engine. So what we can do here is we've got our Unreal Engine open at the minute. So if we go to modes, landscape, and it comes up with these options. So if you want to do 63 by 63 2 times 2 section, and then 16 by 16 2017 2017. Follow this on the left hand side. Once you do it, you can change these. You can do 127 by 127 quads, but obviously it changes stuff. So I mean, we can just do 63 by 63 2 minus 2 16 by 16 and 27 by 2017. Take a note of these overall resolution, because we will need that when we take our image into Photoshop. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually create this. Okay, once it's done, it's just obviously a flat terrain, and then what we'll be doing later is right-clicking height map and going in import from file, and then choosing the image that we create. So I'll be using the Tangram height mapper, which is this one here. So if you go on, you can get real life images of Earth, and you can kind of go down and we can select one of these images. Obviously black and white and that's what we need for UE4 to actually know what we're talking about. So if we go down to, say, this place here, to wait for it to load. Once we zoom in, we can choose, say, like a place like this. So we can turn auto exposure off, and we can change this. What you may find is if you go in and it's too bright and you import this into UE4, it becomes very like spiky. All this terrain, this white terrain, will shoot up because it reads this as higher and then the black is lower. So what we can do now is we've turned the auto exposure off. What we can do is we can mess around with this kind of stuff. Obviously that's too bright, so we can just turn everything down. Just mess around a bit, so something like that might be pretty good. We'll see how it goes. So what you do then is hit export, find it in your file. So I've got my file there, and then what I'll do is I'll go into Photoshop, close these down. What we'll do is go back, and remember we had 2017 by 2017, so that was what we'll be doing in here. So create new, 2017 by 2017, pixels, 72 resolution, make sure it's 16-bit, make sure that's on grayscale. So just take a note down of this. This is what you're going to need. And once you've done that, we hit create. This is the same space as what it is in our in UE4. File, open. We want to open that. We want to bring that in here. Hit yes. Scale. Turn the scale up to fit into that block. Let's just say, yep, that's fine. What we want to do is hold Control Shift S. We can save it. Make sure you save it as a PNG. Let's just put test. Cool. Hit OK. Jump into UE4. Right click. Import from file. Hit test. And then it should make a terrain for you like this. Okay, so as you can see, it's quite low down. Obviously, the terrain that I chose wasn't too crazy. So obviously, we've got we've got these bits here, and then the only kind of quite high up part was probably this bit over here. But what you can go, sometimes it can be a bit much, but you can change the size here. So say you've got massive mountains and they're way too high, you can change the z-axis on the scale to maybe half, so put it to 50 and that can go down. So now we've done this, there's actually other things that we can do. I'm going to show you guys how to actually import this grass here. So what we can go modes, you can go foliage, and then what you can do is grab the glass and then drop it into foliage. Okay, and then what we can do, actually start doing now is painting this grass on. And then just be careful. As you can see, I've got my FPS there. If you guys want this, so you can see, because obviously if you paint maybe too much of this grass on, the FPS will shoot up. So what we see, as you can see there when I zoomed in, it went down. So what you can do is click on here, show FPS, and it will show you FPS. So it's quite important if you're chucking a lot of stuff in your level. But this is quite handy, being able to paint grass in and do this kind of stuff. And obviously you can just literally bring a material in and drop it in, and it'll do that. But if you're working with these landscapes, maybe use the brushify that I showed you guys in the other tutorial. And then you can obviously import and use this grass as well, but it also Brushify has its own grass in there when you apply it to a landscape, so you might not need this, but it's worth knowing.